Alright, check 1, 2. Hello, hello. This is gonna be real silly. I'm super excited for this. So, this week on Magic Online, uh, if you remember about 3 months ago, there's a product that WotC released called Innistrad um, Double Feature. I had to remember for a little bit there, which was billed as, when it first like was brought up, a curated draft set between Innistrad, Crimson Vow, and Innistrad werewolves. I've already forgotten werewolf set name. Midnight Hunt. Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow. It was supposed to be like a curated draft set of the two, like, so it makes for a fun draft format. When they released it, it wasn't. It was just every card from both sets, which doesn't make anything work. Here, we have Kamigawa Remix. This is a draft format that I'm going to pull up the little sheet for, and you're going to see this. G-Day is G-Day here. Yes, and it's notable. So here's our sheet. Kamigawa Remix is a set they're just doing for a single week on Magic Online, and they've put more effort into it than with Innistrad Double Feature. So the way it works is that in the set, it's an equal number of cards from Neon and from original Kamigawa block. The set itself is, I think, 296 cards. Split between the four sets. The packs have, you see 17 cards. A rare from Neon Dynasty, a rare from Champions, Betrayers, or Saviors, 3 uncommons from Neon Dynasty, 3 uncommons from Champions, Betrayers, Saviors, 4 commons from Neon Dynasty, 4 commons from Betrayers, Champions, Saviors. And then the land is either a basic or one of the, however over Trickle Cove, it'll show it. One of those come to play tap lands and gains you life. So there's a lot going on here. And also, Jite is in here as a mythic. It's the one card upscale in rarity in the Champions, Betrayers, Saviors slot. They also added in one card from each color from the EDH decks. Specifically, what this means is that the Shrine Lord is draftable. Swords to ride shares, that sort of thing. There's a couple others in here. Another Myojin. But also with the Shrine, there's 11 shrines in here. G-Day would not be uncommon because the card was a rare originally. Printing G-Day uncommon in the first place would have been pretty ridiculous. The card was very easy to get back in the day because it was in one of the precons. When they would release sets they'd always release 4 precons back then. And the Rat's Nest precon came with a G-Tay. So, anyway, you might kind of jokingly think, well, how can Neon in one half and Kamigawa, this horrible block, hold off on the other? Kamigawa's not as horrible as you would think it was. Champions, at least, wasn't. Betrayers and Saviors, yes, in a lot of places. But, the bomb rares from Champions and the whole block are going to be just as powerful as the bomb rares from current sets. Kakusho, the Evening Star, still a card. Actually, I don't know if that's in here. But yeah. Anywho, that's all the notes on this. So basically, the set is half and half split. I'm super excited because it means we're gonna get to play like Elder Pine of Jukai with other spirit. It's gonna be real cool, I think.
So when you say half and half, I just got in here.
Thanks for the
And
host.
yeah, what when I say, do you say half and half? Do you mean it's half Neon Dynasty and half the other three sets?
Correct.
All right, that's actually the way I would have thought that they would go to make
Yes.
functioning.
So,
Yeah.
and the packs are literally one rare, three uncommons, four commons from each section.
Okay.
With
All
a
right.
with a land slot that can be also a duel. One of the common duels from Neon.
Mhm.
The like 2-color coming to play tapped, gain a life. But yeah, so like there's like I just have to, if your reputation, your knowledge of Kamigawa old is what its reputation was, you didn't play limited with it. Like it
Mhm.
actually was a fairly, like, Champions alone was a very strong set, kind of across the board, with a lot of cards that even to this day in constructed formats are all stars that are memorable. Betrayers and Saviors are kind of what killed the block as a
It was
whole.
not uncommon for the first set of a block to be the fun one, and then the additional sets just made it worse. That was a very common
Yeah,
thing in the three set format. In fact, I want to say that was literally more common than it wasn't
it was
in the
more
three
common.
set
It was
format.
more common than it wasn't. And there was a reason they usually
Yeah.
avoided it. Like, but all right. So we want Kamigawa Remix, Phantom Draft League. I get and I'm just so excited for like how many glacial rays can I draft? It's that sort of nonsense. Is that real?
Mhm.
Who can say? All right, and then that goes over to the other monitor for some reason. 300 so players here. Thought there'd be more, but dang. We'll be waiting for a little bit. But yeah, the list, the thing that just makes me just incredible about this draft is that it's curated. And like, we just had a product printed by Wizards that was supposed to be like a curated draft format. And they put more effort into the Magic Online thing that'll be around for 1 week ever and then gone than they did into the printed product that came out and just flopped. So, shrug. My guess is, just from like, ideas of like mechanics we have here, the artifact sub themes are going to be a little weaker. Uh, Champions, Betrayers, Saviors is not going to be lending itself well to the existence of artifacts, with a couple exceptions. Obviously, Jite, haha. But like, imagine the um Anvil deck with Sensei's Divining Top. Anvil just says when an artifact leaves play, make the 1/1. So, you know, you also have all your come into play effects, things like that. Um, I did not check how much of the artifact sub theme is in here, but uh, could get messed up real fast. There's a possible infinite if we have Future Sight plus the Goblin flyer that makes your artifacts cost one less plus top. Ooh, I'm now I'm just thinking in top brain. Oh boy, could we build that sort of infinite? That'd be fun. Arcane is going to be a mechanic from old Ravnica, or for old Ravnica, old Kamigawa. That is going to be like powerful, but like hard to use because we're not going to have a lot of arcane cards from. We're not going to have any arcane cards from Neon. Arcane, splicing onto Arcane, let you like cast one arcane spell, but ride the rest of your hand onto it. For a lot of mana. A lot of times this wasn't like a huge thing, but like there were constructed decks that were successful around like either splicing Glacial Ray onto cards or like doing loops with Hanakami plus Soulless Revival plus splicing arcane spells onto your fogs, and it just all sorts of nonsense like that. There's from my understanding about Kamigawa and Wizards, is that Kamigawa still to this day is a very divisive set. Like, obviously, like, even with like newer developers who might not have even played during that, Kamigawa is a set that's nearly 20 years old at this point. We're getting to that point, right? I think 2003. 2003, 2004. But like the set itself is, as far as its memory goes, is one of the largest failures for a block for following up Mirrodin, which was also a failure in a different direction. Mirrodin broke standard in a lot of ways, had to have dozens of bannings across formats. Whereas Kamigawa was seen as somebody pulled back on the brake and pulled back on the power level, which is true for its mechanics, but not individual cards. Like, this is a set that Gifts Ungiven comes from. This is a set that Umezawa's Jite comes from. This is a set where a lot of cards that, like, weirdly hold up deck. Like, there's this is a set that holds a lot of room for old EDH Commander. I'm certain. I don't know if Kakusho is still banned, but I know it was a banned for the longest time.
I returned. I'm still making tomato sauce, so I had to check on it every now and again.
Yeah, Sensei's Divining Top, obviously.
I mean, I know a bud of mine who uses runs a Skyfire Kirin EDH deck, which is funny to think about.
I've had fun times playing against that deck. It's a great one.
Yeah.
Malamet, thank you very much for the sub.
It's genuinely fun, and it's pretty good. It's not like, obviously, as a mono red, with a Kamigawa commander, it's not exactly like the strongest one or nothing, but it is fun and fun to play against.
Yeah. So Malamet, one thing to note, did you know, like Malamet says, what if every rare creature was a legend and we had a legend rule that made that big downside? The legend rule with Kamigawa was changed. It didn't make it a big downside. So the legend rule in Kamigawa was changed after Aaron Forsyth was watching the finals at Worlds or semifinals at Worlds, where a player had gotten up to a Chroma mana first, and they played their Achroma, and the other player had 2 Achromas in hand, and just had to sit there and say, "Yep," because legend rule pre-Kamigawa was the first legend lives, the second legend dies. You can't do anything about it. Like, so your Chromas in hand don't 1-for-1. They're just dead cards. If you played them, they go straight to grave. And like, he thought, this is the worst thing I've ever watched. I am changing the rules after watching this match. So, Kamigawa changed the legend rules to be, if a second legend hit play, both implode. Obviously, the current legend rules are changed so that is only you control a duplicate, and then you don't lose both. You just lose one of your choice. Yeah. But obviously, this wasn't without its downsides. It meant that every deck played Jite because it was a colorless removal spell for Jite.
Yep. That's a fun note about Jite. Jite is a really, really fucked up card, everybody.
The same thing happened back in Jace the Mind Sculptor formats. Players would play small Jace on 3, because if the opponent had big Jace on 4, what were they going to do? Play it and burn the legend rule? I guess Planeswalker rule, which was the same at that time. The Jace. It was very silly. So yeah, every legend, every rare was a legend, and obviously you couldn't control multiples. And the set added, but the set also had a lot of cards that were like, let's make legendary cards cool. to this day, the cycle of legendary Landstorm champions are still played in a number of formats. Shinka, the Blood-Soaked Keep, gives a red legend first strike, which I don't know. You might have a dumb monkey. You might not want to lose a fight. You know, things like that. So, but yeah, these rules must sound very silly to people who weren't around for 2001 or 2000. But that was the way it was. Champions of Kamigawa also introduced Vigilance and Defender as keywords.
Yeah, it was a pretty. The thing is, it's a pretty influential set. Like,
yeah.
A lot of things that followed it actually did. A lot of mechanics were introduced in it, and a fair number of things, like design ideas, actually follow from Kamigawa specifically. And yeah,
the funniest thing about introducing Defender, before introducing Defender, for those who don't know, I just want to put this in your mind. I want you to guess how you think Defender worked as a mechanic before it was codified. Like, just think in your mind, like, what would it have been like? Why would they have had to, like, you know, change the rules to make Defender a keyword? The answer to this was, it was tied to the creature type wall.
Yep. Yeah, Defender used to be, mechanically, walls just could not attack, and that was just a fact about the creature type wall.
In the
it was the only creature type that did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could also give Legend as a type as well, which would work the same as the old Legend rule. There were a couple blue cards that could give legendary or legend, not legendary, or remove
legendary as a super type happened. I don't remember when.
I think that was Kamigawa as well. I think that was when the change happened. Just if you take a look at like,
yeah, like things like Gerard were still originally just creature type legend. Yeah.
But yeah, so here's Jite from Betrayers. It's a legendary artifact.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, walls had inherent rules text, so you could use cards to give creatures creature types and give them wall as a creature type in order to like fade the attack step. Very just weird, like nonsense that was changed with Kamigawa. So yeah, very big set. Obviously being between Mirrodin and Ravnica, it has a lot of I guess like forgotten nature to it, you know, but I'm very glad they brought it back for Neon Dynasty, because that was basically a perfect drafting set. And hopefully that means they'll be more willing to give oddities like that a second chance.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh boy. Sadly, not a lot of folks are here for the remix draft. It's
a pretty hard sell for a lot of people.
I guess. Again, the reputation of old Kamigawa is low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I haven't looked at the cards, like the I haven't looked at the card list, but I can think of a 3-card combo that would result in an infinite. Where if we have a future sight, a card that makes our artifacts cost 1 less. Sensei's Dividing Top.
Oh yeah. Yep, I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, Kamigawa, also, this is when I started playing Magic proper. I started in Champions, and I drafted a ton of Champions, Betrayers, and Saviors. Uh, Saviors does weird things to the format because of like wisdom cards that want you to just hold 7 cards in your hand, but it also like gives certain colors just like nonsense stuff like Elder Pine of Jukai, uh, or Shien of Life's Roar, which is a 1/2 with Lure. You might think, oh, is that anything? Well, this set has a lot of pump spells, so yes. You basically just get to keep turning all your pump spells into kill spells, and it was great. More importantly with those, though, the Shiens all had discard for handing off their texts to a creature in play, and then you could soul shift back the body with soul shift, which is a mechanic that's in the set that's very overcosted.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things in Kamigawa that are overcosted, like the entire mechanic of Arcane, which is basically just an arbitrary +1 cost tax.
Yeah, on like 80% of cards that have Arcane, it's a random +1, and then the cards that are playable, like, are the ones that it isn't. Like, like Kodama's Reach.
Kodama's Reach, for instance, which
Thank
is
goodness.
Yeah. Kodama's Reach is now it's an all-star. It's Cultivate with a rider on it.
Yeah. Cultivate that's uncounterable by, or actually, sorry, is counterable by Hisoka's Defiance. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So,
that rider never matters, but hey, the 5-color Goshen die. Huh?
We also have 2 shrines in the pack. You can see in like the old cards. So let's take a look at our old Kamigawa cards. We have Cage of Hands. This was a first pick in Champions because this is a pacifism you can pick up. You have Descendant of Kiyomaru. This card was fine. Rending Vines. This was super good. As like a sideboard card, it's a lot better here in the main deck because it can kill artifact or enchantment equal or less than your hand size. And like,
we'll point out that we have our best friend, the Sky Turtle, in here as well. The card that you never need to play. It's just channeling it is all you need.
I'm thinking we pick up the Goshen die.
Yeah, go for it. That's not a bad idea. I like the idea of leading in on the shrines. That's a fun idea.
Stir the Grave is just X, pick up this is like pick up a creature.
Chances are you're likely to get one of these shrines back. People are not going to pick the shrines by themselves a lot of the time, although granted...
Okay, I actually think...
Just Kodama's Reach, that's not a bad idea, yeah.
Like, I know there's Goshen Tai of Lost Wisdom here, but like, if we want this card to function...
You need the...
we need the fixing. And again, look at some of our old ninjas. Torrent of Stone is a really good removal spell. That's also arcane.
Kamigawa had interesting removal in general. It was weird about that. Like, there was cool removal cards in it.
Check out this cycle. Genju of the Spires, Enchant Mountain. Enchanted Mountain becomes a 6/1 for 2. When the mountain is put into the graveyard. Now, every other card like this is always trying to be a Genju, and it's not. When this card is put into the graveyard, return Genju of the Spires to your hand. Every other card is trying to be a Genju for the last 20 goddamn years, and none of them are. None of them pick up the actual, like, body itself. That's what makes these so dangerous.
The fact that turns things into 6/1s, which is a deadly type, like, power toughness line.
This one was a very fun one, I always thought. Here we have Soul Shift. So when this creature dies, you can pick up a spirit from your grave with mana value 3 or less to your hand. That made this cycle kind of powerful. Spirited Companion is pretty good. Not actually a spirit dog. So
yeah, it is just a dog that is having a good time. Oh god, we can't.
Oh, great!
Gotta crane your neck to be able to see the backside of these.
So transform cards like this.
Yeah,
this was
their first attempt, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seeing
The
the bounce
flip
of
cards.
seeing the bounce of 2
Or-
blue is weird. This card targets permanent. This still hits lands. We are still in Stone Rain era.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I want the Grave Robber because that card's just really dumb. You ever get this to flip?
Esme Grave Robber is like one of the most frequently still seen of these turning around flipping cards. Hi, Conda.
Iconda. Ooh.
Yes, you are absolutely an 8/8 in combat who's indestructible, but I mean, the fact that you're indestructible means like who the fuck is blocking you except for chumps?
Sure, yeah. Another Spirited Companion, good land. Elder Pine
That's a cool ass land.
Or Genju the Cedars also is a really good one. I Nowhere was key, and I think this is the third prototype we've seen. This was a key card in Constructed. You would search Pillory of the Sleepless with this. And Ghosted Dad. Kami of Ancient Law, we've seen this card a number of times in reprints. Rodom Unicorn, Keening Banshee. It's always been good.
Yep, it's a bear that can destroy enchantments if you, as an enchantment. Like, the fact that it is an enchantment spell, like, kill spell on a guy means it's very versatile, you know?
Okay. So right now I'm looking, boy.
The one? That's not a bad idea.
Grave Rivers is too many. Wear Away is actually probably a really good card here. Now that I'm thinking about it. Like,
Sure.
Hey, Anvil. Again, Anvil is in here, so we might have the Anvil top deck. But yeah, Wear Away in original Kamigawa, not that great. You know, obviously you were like trying to compete with like freaking Mirrodin, and this was just not good enough. But like when we're in the world, we're like, this is here, this is here. You know, there's a lot of things we want to hit, and it has Splice, and it is arcane. So if we're at high mana. All right,
I'm looking at these cards, by the way, that are available, and
sad
I think
to see
that
Gloomshrieker go.
they went out of their way to make sure that every single creature had a relevant type, huh?
Yeah.
If it's an artifact, enchantment, spirit, or like ninja or something like that.
Yeah. So Hymen of Cleansing Fire, I think, is stronger than Night's Reach. This one just stops working at some point. Obviously, Kappa Wrecker and Gloomshrieker are probably just better than picking up the Shrine.
The original shrines are all so boring.
Yes, but like, I want to get.
I mean, it's important to get more shrines, though. So yes, you should pick it. I'm just saying that, like,
Yeah.
mechanically, all of the original shrines just they're all at the beginning of your upkeep. You just do the most basic mechanic of that color.
All right, welcome to the first pick in white. Cage of Hands was number 2. Kabuto Moth was number 1. This was the card that you because this was like the most annoying onboard trick in the world. It was great. Death Denied, Arcane, just pick up your whole damn graveyard at the end of turn. Kiku's Shadow is actually like good removal. Do I want to get into... I mean, Kabuto Moth, we already have white, so obviously, like, getting more of that is fine. Hideous Laughter. Ooh. Ooh, okay. If we're, like, got the shrine stuff going, this is a good way to control the board. Kira Ono, it looks like they included this whole cycle. They also included one of the worst bodies in the set. Probably because of the protection that, okay.
Would it be funny or infuriating if they did, in fact, decide to include Takeno's cavalry in this?
I mean...
It would be funny the first time you see it, and then it'd be infuriating that it took up a slot, right? Like...
Yeah. Colossal Turtle is here. Charge across the Areba. I think I'm after a Colossal Turtle. I also, again, would be fine with the Rending Vines in the deck. Cage of Hands. Oh, but there's a Cage of Hands here, too. Huh. Crap. They value Soul Shift very highly. This is tough. I really like Cage of Hands, but Turtle is like a win con and a recursion piece.
You're likely going to be able to play that turtle by itself too in this
Yeah.
as well. Instead, are both of the are both of the shrines gone? Because there were 2 shrines in here. They were the
They were pretty strong.
they were the modern shrines
Yeah,
as opposed to
they
the
were.
old ones. So okay,
Yeah, like
those are good on their face. Is part of why they're good.
I think I'm just gonna grab this dismal backwater. Kami of False Hope, Tales of Master Seshiro. Tales of Master Seshiro is good. Big Hot Spring. But yeah, like, you know, you'd return your spirit that costs 3. The thing with Soul Shift is that it's priced as though a lot of times, it's priced as though it returns it to play.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's priced a little bit like Cascade is the problem.
Yeah.
When it's not at all.
This card's actually fine. Ooh. Monariki Gusari in a format with Recombine?
Mm-hmm.
Or that?
Mariki Gusari was actually weirdly pretty good in general.
Yeah.
I think, right? Like
It was like a GT answer. And here's the Sen of Soramaru. Just this is nothing.
It was okay. It was a GT answer so long as you could
keep a creature.
So long as it came down first.
Yeah.
Because the moment GT is on board and sticks around, it's hard to have it be a GT answer. Theoretically, you are sacrificing stuff. Like, you don't mind sacrificing stuff, but I don't know if that's...
So we got Ghost Shindial, Lost Wisdom, another Kodama's Reach. Tamashi, I think, is almost more important of a pickup because it can pick up enchantments and artifacts. And that lets us pick up stuff like dead shrines, killed creatures.
There's also the argument for just Kodama's Reach again.
Yes. Like, just get another Kodama's Reach and start going to town. Yeah.
You are currently... Yeah.
You're not wrong.
You might want... On the other hand, if you're doing 2 of these today, you can go ahead and just do the more interesting pick.
Blossom Prancer, thank you. How you doing? Grabs a Genju the Fields. So, this one.
This one's not dying.
No, the coolest thing about this one is that this is pre-lifelink being a keyword. So when you activate this card, it becomes a 2/5 with whenever this creature deals damage, your controller gains that much life. If you have like 10 mana, you activate this card 5 times, and then you attack, and you gain 10 life.
Yeah, because oh man.
Yeah, because it gains the text.
And because that's how that works, they never errated these with the cards that say this.
Yes.
They didn't errata most of these to say it's lifelink now because it is mechanically different.
It's mechanically different from lifelink. The only card they ever made that change to was Lockstone on Warhammer because they printed it in 10th edition. Blazing Shoal, well known for some combo kills. Holy fuck. Hell yeah. Oh, well. Alright, I mean I can pass up the shrine
also, with how Lockstone Warhammer is written, it's that it has that line of tax as opposed to gains that line of tax, and that is actually relevant, right?
No, they just arbitrarily changed it.
Okay.
Yeah, like they specifically said, like, no, this is a card we should have kept the same, but we reprinted it in a set with lifelink, so we made it lifelink. Kabuto Moth still hanging out here. I'm on the north side. Let's get this going. Cool thing about Blossom Prancer here, this is a spirit too, so we get some pretty high impact spirits. Budoka Gardener. Pay 6 tap, create a XX elemental token where X number of lanes you control. Sure. That sounds exciting.
Another Dismal Backwater. Out of all the
Oh,
duels
the
you've
duels.
seen, it has another one of the same
We're
kind.
seeing some weird print runs in this. I've
Yeah,
noticed,
for
like,
sure.
I've been noticing some sameness on these common uncommon runs. I'm wondering if there's something going on there. This is what the 12th charge across Araba and the 7th or into stone. Reveal the top X cards of your library, put all creatures in your hand, and then rest on bottom. Hideous Laughter 2 sounds good to me. That's sort of my control plan is
I
Hideous
really hope
Laughter.
Hidetsugu's second right is in here because Hidetsugu's second right is
I
just a,
love it
like
so much.
a, it's such a fun like build around, right? Like it's a challenge when you see it.
Hmm. I get the feeling somebody else is on is just slamming the shrines.
It's not. Dang, that's rough.
Ooh. Now, okay, Rend Flesh was the first time we had like a black kill spell on dark banishing level that
That
could,
didn't say non-black creature.
yeah, or have like some other restriction like that. Red Flesh and Red Spirit, same reflex of a card, but Red Flesh was the one that got played. They could kill most things. Um, I'm here for more wear away. Azami is cool. Genju the Fens is kind of neat. This is a good ninja, by the way. Really good ninja. Again, non-black on that. Into the Spires. We're seeing more. Spinning Wheel Kick. Ooh, Ghostlit Nourisher. Onboard tricks are dumb. Cage of Hands is good. Cage of Hands gets better when we have Tamashi to recur it as well. Yeah. Ah, yes, of course. Tap creatures get blocked as though they were untapped. Flash. One of the most hilarious. Ooh, hey, Zubras. This is the first Zuber I've seen, so I'm guessing we're not getting the whole Zubra cycle. They would do a thing. They do the same thing as the Shrine, where the Honden was, but you'd get like more of them based on how many Zubra died that turn. Hey, Konama's reach back. Let's take Jukai Preserver. It's a body that lives through Backwater. Yeah, that's fine. Fade New Antiquity, I don't think I want to play, but I'll pick it anyway. I don't want Fade. I probably don't care about Fade because I have like 2 wearaways. Alright, we're looking for a couple more shrines. Honda and the Cleansing Fire is cool and all, but like, we need more than just like this for Go Shintai to be cool. One Death Denied. That's enough copies of Death Denied. Sasuke on the wheel. This card's really strong.
All right, my sauce has achieved the depth and complexity of flavor point of development.
So, Champions of Kamigawa Block Constructed was like a GP Pro Tour qualifier format block constructed. In that format, there were basically 2 decks. You were either playing 5-color gifts, or you were doing this. Promise of Bunrei. If a creature you control dies, sacrifice Promise of Bunrei. If you do, 4/1/1s. I'm gonna go pick up Shingo Shintai here, no matter what. Even though this is a third Lost Wisdom, that's fine by me. The Kabuto Moth is cool.
The thing is, I feel like unless they were really similar print runs, I
Yeah.
think there might actually be someone else at the table also doing shrines now.
Yeah, but luckily, like, we're seeing a couple of our picks available now here.
Yeah. You don't really need that many shrines to make shrines pretty good.
Well, especially
It's
not
not a
with
thing.
like this thing either.
Yeah, of course.
I think Goshen Dive Balance Vigor is going to be better than this one. This one is strong, but Foul Throat Slitter, Falls. I like the one that's on color. Ooh, a Gloom Shrieker. Another Honden of Cleansing Fire. Twisted Embrace. Gloom Shrieker picks up anything, and I think that's well worth it. These Jet Kites were from Betrayers. They were like the first picks in that set. There's a common one that's a 2/3 flyer for 4. That the first time it's targeted, counter it. Was very useful for getting your ninja through. Also very awkward. Doesn't care who was the one to first target it. Doesn't care if it's a spell or ability, counters it. So if you try to like equip, it gets a little funky. Hey, Ghostly Prison, how you doing? And here's Shimmering Glass Kite, the one I'm talking about. Okay, so Hitotsugu's in here.
Hitotsugu is fun to play with. As a fun creature.
Yeah, sadly. Ooh, brothers are in here too. Ooh.
Oh, the brothers Yamazaki.
Ooh, I kind of want to draft a brothers. You can't right now, but like something to keep in mind.
The chance one day to be able to draft brothers Yamazaki.
Probably just take this other case.
Doing a red white deck to play brothers Yamazaki and sisters Yamazaki at the same time. Another Honden.
Ooh, nice to see another.
This is any target. This is the good
red Honden. Yes. This one's incredibly powerful. Also, talk about other, like, again, people have this idea of like Kamigawa was a low-powered set. Check out Hearth Kami here.
Yeah, no, this is good.
This is just a comment from that set. This card was very good, even again in constructed because it was like ways to blast an artifact land. You just Stone Rain, but also like kill whatever.
Original Kamigawa was only a low-powered, like, specifically Savers of Kamigawa, Champions of Kamigawa, whichever was compared to the fact that it just followed Mirrodin, a ridiculously high-powered format, like unbelievably.
We don't have an Imperial Oath. This card's kind of dumb, and we have multiple copies of Kodama's Reach to like get up to 6.
And that, of course, there were bad cards, like a lot in.
Oh yeah.
But like that aside, there were actually some real standouts.
Ooh.
Yeah, each Kodama's Reach, I think, is just the better choice, right? Like it finds almost anything. You are so thoroughly main green that it's definitely going to be playable almost no matter what your base hand is.
And even like the Arcane matters because my deck has 2 copies of Wear Away. So like we get late, we might be able to go 7 Splice. Kodama's Reach and the card very close to its heart, Krosan Tusker, were like the early iterations on like green card advantage or green card draw. It was very hard for green back in the day to get card advantage in any way.
Yeah, green used to be really bad at card draw which is funny to think about when green nowadays is arguably the best color at card draw in the modern days. So
I'm gonna finally pick one of these Rending. I feel like our deck can just have 5 copies of like Rending Vines or Wear Away and be fine. There we go.
It's like it was strong back in the. It's strongly blue was best at it, black was second best at it, and like all the other three colors were just kind of bad at it.
Yeah, there were a couple times where like a one-off card would be like, oh, here's a way that like white might be able to draw a card, or here's a way that red might get some advantage. But they were so few and far between, and like they were the cards that were super against the rule.
Mhm.
Um,
And then over time, they have given both green and red their own card draw mechanical identity, which they probably went way too hard in on greens. And then reds is fun. I like reds, like the way the reds works now, like how it does with the temporary draw that usually goes away next turn. It feels like it's a good
that's
balance
a good,
between
yeah.
yeah.
And like the thing with it is that like the early final iterations of getting there might have
Mhm.
been a little over the line of like, here's
Oh, nice, another Hondan.
yeah, you can't control two of these, but we can, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still good to have them in the the deck.
Let's pick up a Stir the Grave. I don't know if we have any. Oh no, we have one Death Denied, and Death Denied is like the killer one. This is gonna be interesting also because these were 17 card packs, so instead of ending on like a 15 card 45, we end up 6 over. So we actually have more
Mhm.
cards than you'd expect. But yeah,
That's actually nice, given how wide this format is going to be, right? Like, it's nice to
yeah,
have more choices.
yeah, I appreciate that a lot more. But yeah, I'm wondering what like aggro decks in this look like. Like I have to assume somebody's able to just kick our ass with like some real good.
Someone's got to be able to. Yeah.
So Paducah Gardner also really strong with our triple Kadamas reach because this
Yeah, because
gives
the Kadama's Reach puts one on in play and one in the hand, right? So
yes, and then Gardner
you can
can
put the other one on your hand and onto play. So
and
you
also
can make Kadama's Reach into
yeah
Arrow,
can get
but
us
better.
to all right. So actually, let's do this the other way. Let's
Put them all in there and just make sure to keep the things that you're going to keep.
so I want to sort by color. Honden, Honden.
So the Goshintai is an actual thing, like what that means in real life. Those are real objects and all that. But as you might expect, because of Magic the Gathering, they are now impossible to look up exactly what they are. It's
Whoops.
Goshintai are specifically like the treasure of a shrine that is supposed to be like what the local kami like works out of is the idea.
Ah, okay. Let me get the Kodama's reaches, Kodama's reach, Kodama's reach. Elder Pine of Jukai. Ooh, yeah. Love me one of those. The Wearaways can make it in. Tech Wrecker, Budoka Gardener. Genju the Cedars can also make it in here. Also, Tales of Master Seshiro. And,
Sosuke, son of Sheshiro.
yeah.
All right.
Sosuke's actually quite strong. Weird handing out, like, this was still,
The slow touch.
yeah, not only the slow touch, but like the snake up and the warrior up.
Hmm.
So, like, but also Seshiro's living legacy is a snake warrior. Yeah.
And it is a snake warrior.
I think that's fine. Rending Vines, Gloom Shrieker.
Yeah, the important thing about Sosuke too is that that second line text does apply to him. So like it's
Yeah.
honestly he's just kind of fine on his own.
Hideous Laughters. I think I'm just gonna go with the one Honden of Cleansing Fire. I realize I'm
Yeah,
over
I mean, I
23,
thought
but
more about it. The fact that that's one of the non creature ones. If it was one of the creature ones, it would make a lot more sense to include it as a second one of them.
yeah.
But so you're primarily green, secondary black and white, and then you have just a little tiny bit of the other colors in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be like one of each
Yeah,
of these.
one island, one mountain,
Yeah.
probably like two. Well, you have a number of double blacks. So you probably want more than like maybe like three
Unless I just cut out the
blacks.
Hideous Laughters and don't include these.
That's also fair because they are expensive color wise.
Yeah, that might be a little difficult, and like this way I'm just on
Now, like your secondary color is white, sort of.
yeah.
The thing is, you do want to include at least one swamp, no matter what, because of the Kadama's reaches.
Yes.
But otherwise, you could probably just get away with like one of the dismal backwaters, or two of them, or both of them if you want.
Yeah, I need though the basics. That's an absolute.
Yes.
Hmm.
Actually, like maybe just one of them, because you don't want to have too many black and blue sources in this deck.
Yeah. I'm gonna find a way to fit Jukai Preserver in here, but just not seeing the slot. This is a deck that really goes. By the way, we have a Turtle Infinite.
Gotta love a Turtle Infinite. Turtle is so good. There's so many cards.
And of course, being able to pick up creatures means we can pick up enchantments and artifacts like this.
Colossal Sky Turtle is a card that you can ignore every line of text on it except for that first channel, and it's still a really good card.
It's still a really good card.
Wild, it's better than an instant regrowth like that. Like,
yeah, because of its typing.
mhm.
Maybe I just don't include North Tree.
It is
Triple
color
green.
hungry
Triple green
and-
is actually quite difficult.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Sosuke out for the same reason, for like just any other.
Would you include Tales of Master Seshiro with that Sosuke?
Yes, just because it's still a 5/5.
It is still an enchantment, and yeah, a big one at that.
Yeah, I'm like just looking at odds and ends. There's a lot of options here. All right, we're gonna add in one Dismal Backwater, one Blossoming Sands, and then
Blossoming Sands is a much easier include over the Dismal Backwaters. Singular Mountain feels right.
it's got to be double black source so that we can at least get to that
denied. If you have a Turtle Infinite with it, I understand. It makes sense.
There we go.
You have so many Kadama's Reaches, and Kadama's Reach can importantly fixes for 2 colors when you grab it. So
that's what, again, this deck is impossible without Kodama's Reach.
yeah, so getting those 3 was a really, really good set of pickups.
Or Fancy Forest.
One cool Fancy Forest.
1x Fancy Forest. Okay. 3 is where our deck lives. I'm interested in having like a deck like this and then another deck that's just like I don't know, crushing you with a Honden of not a Honden, a Genju of the Spires or some nonsense. Yeah, we don't even have a 1-drop in here. And the only one we could would be Genju of the Cedars, which doesn't really do anything that early.
And it's not really a 1-drop because it costs 2 to activate every time you use it.
Yep. Your quiet beep sounds like your microwave. Oh dear. Yes, I'd love to play first. This looks
Not
fun.
bad. Yeah.
I see multiple colors. I see rending vines actually looks pretty nice.
Mm.
Um,
Rending vines you can pick back up if you gotta.
yep. We'll see.
White, and specifically a fancy white.
Okay. Hey.
Page of Hands. Okay, you've actually got a fair amount of removal.
Yeah. Dog.
This is uncharacteristically kind of a deck to have like all available colors of mana that matter right now.
Yeah.
Goshentai have lost wisdom and Haunted Knights reach out together, so you just don't get cards, period, both ways.
Don't need them. Their 4 is...
Seven Tail Mentor, alright.
Sure.
3/4 that can't attack or
can't-
block.
3/4 that...
Or just gets blocked by a 0/4. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Oh, are they doing
They're off color.
blue-white pilot stuff?
Yeah, they're off color.
Huh.
These are curated, yes. The reason I want to play this, and then we can... Okay. I don't plan on doing that much, but we have nothing else going on the turn, so...
Yeah.
I mostly am playing this to make Honden of Knight's Reach.
A buster.
Kicking their ass.
Force discard a ton of cards always sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Autumn Knight's Reach is like it's the most annoying Honden, I think.
Right, because you always have to play out your hand against it.
Mm.
You can't hold back anything. Rending Vines for like 5 here, so anything they play we can kill with it. And Rending Vines can kill their their vehicles. Still off color. I'm just gonna take 3 if they come in. I'm not gonna bother blocking. I'd rather have the Goshentai not get involved in combat. Justice.
Oh. Justice. Well,
Huh.
I want them to. Okay. Cage of Hands doesn't say that they can't crew vehicles, huh?
No, it does not.
Because that doesn't have a thing. So, dang.
Might be playing Kappa Tech Wrecker as a blocker.
Yeah, and you can Rending Vines the vehicle, thankfully.
Yes. I can like Sky Turtle the... We're actually fine here. I can Sky Turtle bounce the Mentor. And like, it loses its counters. Anyway, here's their discard too. Charge... Oh.
Yeah, you have to do this first because that counts the number of cards in hand.
Okay. Oh,
Whoa.
fuck me. Just
Oh,
Matrix dodge a bullet over here. Okay.
they have a lot of justice.
Okay. Milling them may be a mistake here, I suppose. Oh well. No, can't have milling be a mistake if that's what it got us. Okay.
You can play both Cage of Hands and Cap Attack Wrecker, so
I can also play Cage Hands plus Bounce.
also fair.
Wait, is this $5 shrine? But you found out? Oh, we've been found out. Yeah, that's what this is. Yes.
Five-color shrine bullshit. Goshentai of Life's Origin also can pick up most things in the deck. So
Yeah.
a lot of creatures in the deck anyway, not necessarily most.
There's a red here yet. That's different than there's no red here. Those are
London Knight's Reach did manage to
Yeah.
force them to discard 5 cards over the
Yeah.
course of its existence, so it
there's-
did plenty of work. It's 3 better than Mind Rot for the same cost. I
Cannot
think.
believe you would think we're not playing 5 colors. Comment. Come on. Let's waste your turn, thanks. I don't like what this could recur. Because it can recur both Restoration and Cage of Hands. I think Go Shintai plus Kappa Tech Wrecker.
Sure. I've never seen that shrine token. Neat. It's a little cute little guy.
My alternate line there would be like, I can tap a Kappa Tech Wrecker, pick up the Go Shintai of Lost Wisdom, and do some nonsense, but like, no, I'm good. I'm good as is. I'm sorry, what the hell was that? They blinked their touch. Oh, okay. So it'll come back in the next end step.
Gotcha. Without Cage of Hands on it.
Yes. We lost our Cage of Hands, but if we draw a mountain, we can return Cage of Hands to play with Ghost Shintai of Lives. This is any enchantment.
Mountain or Kadama's Reach or
Kadama's
Reach
Reach wouldn't do it because we wouldn't have enough mana to do it.
Yeah. but it would be let you do it soon.
Yes. They're gonna touch the spirit realm, banish my lives. But that's okay, we have multiple ways to get rid of that still.
They had a second one in hand. All right.
Okay.
They're not really off color. They're like splashing blue for like the 1 or 2 cards, I think, is what it actually is. Okay, 2 of the same card at least.
Yep. I think they attack with Seven Tail Mentor as a feint, or just to get like arrest out of the grave, arrests Sasuke, and then try to set up a better resource loop in future turns. We still have a ton of really live draws. Honda and Red is like, I want the red for here at some point. Honda Red in play would be so goddamn good. Holy shit. So yeah, this is just Seven Tail Mentor coming in. I'm gonna block it with Sosuke. Then they're gonna like arrest it. No, okay. I'm still blocking this. Warriors. Cowards can't block warriors. So you can play Restoration of Iganjo, which is a good card. Okay, and they drew the blue source.
A Vigilance 4/5 versus a Vigilance 5/4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured their deck would contain Island. I
Yeah.
just don't think that they have that many of them, and they probably have a couple of duels.
Yeah, I would guess like one duel and 1 or 2 islands.
Hmm.
Gina Stars Light. I keep milling them like good cards, and I should probably like stop sooner or later, but this is also our win con.
it does kill them eventually.
Yeah. Like your hand, huh? Your hand's a planes and oh, okay. Well.
Okay, they were taking to see. Okay, yeah, all right. Actually, you were on the more on the front foot than we thought, I guess.
Well, the problem is like they have to swing with Narika to be able to kill Sasuke, and Sasuke wins this fight twice, right?
Hmm.
And then they don't really have much of a board. The restored body loses to living.
Sashiro's Living Legacy.
And
yeah,
even body, the 3/4 loses to her.
Yeah.
Hideous Laughters are bad in this matchup. They did not show a lot that hits. Cage Hands is probably a little better than the Moth.
Yeah, they actually do seem relatively creature light, is the thing.
Yeah.
Even out of all of the cards that we saw that they discard, they didn't discard that many creatures. They discard discarded 2 vehicles, a fair number of enchantments that would become creatures over time.
Yeah,
But
other wear away looks really good here too.
mhm.
Tech Wrecker's obviously fine. I'm gonna cut out. Ooh, actually, you're right. Grave Robber actually looks good here too. They're doing like, if they're you doing recursion nonsense. That makes sense. I like the way you think. Um, kind of Tales of Master Seshiro. And let's go one more. This. Do we need to up the number of swamps? Yeah, let's give swamp a little bit more respect in this. That might be a little overkill, but these cards are fine. A little awkward, but I think they'll be okay. Perfect. That's the top deck of top decks. I mean, we have a lot of we have 3 of them in the deck, so I'm super happy to have that as our draw. You know what I mean? Like that's clearly not a problem. I'm gonna Blossom Prancer here. I don't want to kill their things. Because they have Invoked Justice, I don't want to give them any recursion right now. So we're just gonna wait. Ooh, okay. Sure, I can pick that back up. It's not a problem. Oh, yeah, this is just a Banishing Light or an O-Ring or whatever. Like, you can't do anything else in play. It's more specific.
I step away for only a few minutes, and we're already this deep into the game. Wild.
Yeah. Ah, yeah,
Yeah, between Hondan and Goshen Type Lice Origin both coming down and having like 5 and also those 3. Yeah. They weren't going to survive this.
I kept a
Or
two-land.
done like 3 turns at most.
I kept like a kind of crappy two-lander that just drew Kodama's Reach, and then the game was over.
I mean, that sounds like Kodama's Reach to me.
Yeah, it sounds like Kodama's Reach. Like, we have 3 of it. Like, of course it's going to do that for us.
I would like to just claim confidently that the sauce that I made today is exceptionally good. It is
Nice.
a good tomato sauce.
Good. Yeah, the White Honda was known because we grabbed it off the Blossom, so they knew there was another. How many people are playing 5-color shrines? I mean, you got it, right? Like, come on.
When you have 2 separate chances off of it because of how this that is like actually set up, it sounds pretty easy. Gotta do it at least once.
Yeah, you gotta have a fun time with it one time. We have a shrine in every color.
Your blue one is probably your worst, and even then, it's still pretty okay. You can use it to win a game.
All right.
Well, the white one gains an unreasonable amount of life.
It gains like 10 life
right?
a turn.
Like, it gains an unbeatable amount of life.
Like, what's your aggro deck doing to beat that?
If it's down for even by itself for like a couple of turns, it by itself can gain an unreasonable amount of life. I mean, the Kamigawa blue one, the Hondan of
Draw a million.
yeah, that's not a May, is it?
Draw a million. What are the other fun plans in the format? I'm sure the artifact plan looks silly as hell.
Yeah, Hondan of Seeing Winds can kill you if you're not careful.
So my opponent's main 2. Okay, thank you. I didn't want to touch anything because, like, they already have 6, and I'm like, well, don't. Are you trying to trick me into passing a turn? What's going on here? Oh, yeah. Okay. You ready for 5-color nonsense? I think the problem is our hand sucks.
Yeah.
For that, we have the mana, but not the payoffs. They also have the mana. We'll see what their payoffs look like. We obviously will either want to draw more offensively minded cards. It sucks because like both Tails and Kabutomoth are like the only 2 cards in the deck that aren't really on plan. Okay. I like that. That can start restricting movement. We want to grab black and red here.
This does tip your hand immediately. Like, yep, same hat, buddy.
Yeah, have fun.
Oh man, Domain's gonna be online.
I know. Turn 4.
Really something handsome about, you know, in play forest, swamp, island, mountain, plains.
It looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Or rather, probably what the game should ask me to do, which would be plains, island, swamp, forest.
Except for it's in the...
No, it's mountain forest.
Nah, these are you control. Kuda Board of
Oh.
Ash, yes. Fucking love a Kuda Board of Ash. They have no swamps to sack to this. That's okay. This card rules. This is a really neat Savior's rare. There's another
There's their
swamp.
swamp.
It's going to be hard for them to have more cards than us. Post combat, you get to do some aggressive plays. Oh boy. Ooh, okay. He who hungers. So Kabuto Moth will be able to kill off the Born of Ash in a turn. Okay, I guess we buy it back with... That's fine. Cast Recoil at him. Haruona, good card. Okay, let's keep getting our advantage. I'm gonna draw like the White Shrine here. Something like that.
Yeah, the white shrine would dig you out of this immediately. Well, not quite. You'd still be technically taking more damage on its face, but like it would also extend your turns to live from like,
Yeah.
3 to 10.
They have to start choosing here on their Honda and discards. One known, two unknown.
On the other hand, like you do have a decent just order of play here.
Okay.
That turtle is currently pretty much unbeatable, right?
Yeah.
Gloomshrieker, by the way, is a new A. That is what the creature that it is. I really wish they had done more folkloric creatures instead of just that, but like a
Yeah.
couple, but At least they had more in Saviors than they did not Savior, sorry. In Neon Dynasty than they did in the original, which is kind of funny to think
Right.
about.
Weird that there's less.
Anyway, hello Kaiga.
So here's my
Sorry, Kega.
here's my answer to Kega the Tide Star. It's called Recoil. We're just gonna cast Recoil.
Colossal Sky Turtle could come down as a 6/5, or you just play in the other two cards that it also is that can't be interacted with.
Sadly, this exile's on death, so we can't like recur it with Tamashi. But
Careful about printing easy infinite pieces.
yeah. So there aren't gonna be a Kuda at us because it's at the beginning of upkeep. As long as we don't like go down to one card in hand. Ooh, that's interesting.
How many lands do you need to have on the field before it turns on?
10.
Oof.
2 more. Akodama's Reach turns it on.
Hmm.
So I can play Sky Turtle. Basically hand them to Meshi. Am I okay with that? We can do better. Yeah, we can annoy Kaiga for a while. So we want to go...
The other thing is that Badoka Gardener actually works really well with Tameshi, right? So
yes.
you can pick up a land and then just put it back down. Boudica.
I know.
I think Boudica means like martial artist, more or less. So fighting gardener.
I'm going to take Kaiga's hit here. More cards in hand than each opponent. We have... Their hand is currently the Ona and the Replicate. Okay. Well, now I can just bounce your Kaiga.
Tameshi does not count, only you control. But non-creature. Okay, right.
Yeah. Things are starting to get crazy. Okay.
I guess you have all of the available lands needed to flip that now.
Yes. I want to be careful about flipping it because I don't want to give that to them.
Right.
To have them Kaigo. The Honden is so much value here. Kaiga pass.
It's the only one on the field and you have like 4 more in the deck. Can you imagine if you had both on the
I
like
know.
even 2 on the field?
I
Kago
know.
wouldn't have existed because he would have been forced to get discarded.
Huh. I can put counters on my Sky Turtle to have it live through Kaiga, but I don't want that. You know?
Because then they have it. Because they could. I guess if they were tapped out, it'd be fine, right? But
Yeah.
they're not gonna make that mistake. It'd be silly to do it in the first place.
I can just pass here. Like, I can play some of these cards out of hand, but I think it's better if I just wait. I don't want to flip Gardener until Kai gets dealt with. Because I don't want to hand them an unflipped, I don't want to hand them a flipped Gardener.
Right. One of the important things about Tameshi right now, though, is that you can use it to draw more cards more than anything else.
Right, they probably steal Tameshi here.
I would assume that they would. Although they don't have the white to activate it, so like, what would it would just be the other like line of text on it, or at least they don't currently have the white to activate it.
Are you sure about that?
That seems like a mistake, buddy. We actually would prefer if Sky Turtle was in our hand.
Yeah!
Sorry, friends. Do you not understand that how the channels work?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about this? Fortunately, I only have a video clip of that and not the sound clip, so I can't play it through my mic. I mean, you can do this and activate Tameshi in the same turn now, can't you?
Sorcery speed.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I know. So then they have to discard a card again.
Well, you have Death Defied.
Uh-huh. I think, I want Sosuke and a token.
Sounds like a plan.
And then I'll just death denied for my colossal hell
Your Colossal Hell Turtle.
turtle.
And then your deck has infinites in it.
All right. So they're gonna play Kaigo. Yup.
What a surprising misplay. I don't understand where that came from. Like, out of all of the cards who have targeted with
Right.
that, the one they had to both pay mana for and also would have no benefit for doing so. The elemental have reach?
No. No cards in their hand.
Is that a artifact creature? The one that's flying? No, it's creature ninja. Think. No, not ninja. I can read the text if I just go to the actual stream. Hold on. Moonfolk. Right, makes sense.
I'm aware, Nick Themeron. I realized at the moment I passed on the trigger. It's fine.
There's not a tremendous amount of mechanical difference in doing it.
Well,
like this and having
we
it
would have
different.
gotten Taya dead. Was the
Yeah.
whatever they drew playing that was the worst possible choice. That was yeah. They get them
I
a
know.
chump blocker, but
You put down the Covenant Moth specifically to block Kega, right? So you'd be able to do it this turn, like this next turn.
yeah. But now I can just bounce it, and they'll have to discard.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That it's known on board about what you're gonna do right now. So they are playing the color red. So going down to 2 sounds like a problem.
Yeah, a way to lose. All right, so then we just want to
Kill them with 10/10s and having a just have a big boy on board.
yeah. And you hi there.
Finally, a second Honden,
I
a second
know.
Shrine. You've dug through 24 cards of your deck, and this is the second Shrine out of 5, I think. 6. I think you might have 6.
Yeah, we have one in each color, and then
Yeah, so you've got 6.
So they have to play whatever they draw because of Honda. Decent draw.
That's interesting. I would have attacked with both that and the
flyer.
flyer
Yeah.
because like you'd have to block one. Because you'd have to block the 5/4. You'd
If
lose
they
your
had one
turtle,
more
you'd
mana,
still
I
have
think
your
I
time.
died.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, I'd go to 1. I'd lose most of my board. I'm just gonna like, I don't know.
Still scary.
I'm gonna do this because like it puts us in the
You
same.
can just pick it back up. It's fine.
Yeah, like I don't care. I can just replay this.
Sure, it costs a lot of mana, but who gives a shit? You have a lot of mana.
Yeah. My turtle will die forever.
That turtle is so unreasonable. This turtle is such a good card. This turtle is managed to be MVP in 2 separate kinds of Kamigawa draft.
It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, Tameshi, would you like to give me a turtle back, please?
Sure, it's not the turtle by itself that is MVP, but still. It's close. All right, so now you get to show to your opponent that you were in fact actually playing shrines.
Yeah.
And the fact that you weren't just playing 5 color for literally no reason.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the last draw that matters.
They have to play it, obviously, because they'll discard it, so there's no reason not to just slam whatever the card is.
Yep. And it was land, I think. No, okay. Their own Goshen Dive. Okay.
Sure.
Force you to mill 1.
Please. Please do. Tameshi needs more targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Fool. Tameshi, the shrine.
Seven, 6. Flying Turtle. Thinking about, like, probably at the end of this year, we're going to have to do, errata 5 for all the creatures and all that. And I'm going to have to rate Sky Turtle. And
It's gonna be hard to
Wild
ignore.
Thing,
How much
it's going
is
to be hard to ignore how unreasonable it is, but also there's really not that many turtle mechanics on it aside from the ward.
the ward?
At least
Is
it has one.
yeah, it does have one. Land off the top.
Otherwise, it's a turtle with more power than toughness.
True. Usually your turtles are 1/1s until anyway. Let's put this game away.
The classic turtle toughness is 4.
I'm thinking of the one that's like, well, this card's untapped.
Yeah.
But yes, usually you get a 1/4. You get your ward turtle.
All right, well, they're completely, absolutely, no questions asked, super dead at this point, so. I want to point out, you only have 4 cards in your graveyard.
Yeah, everything's in play.
And only one of them was exiled.
Oh god, and that was game 1.
That is a long, long game you had to play there.
Oh my god, I'm getting Cage Hands in here again instead of Kabuto Moth, because, like, screw dealing with,
I will argue Kabuto Mouth had one valuable thing that it did. It is a flyer.
True, but Cage of Hands is what I want to do.
Deals with it in its own way, too, yeah.
I want to put...
Especially it's an excellent way to deal with Kega.
Kega, yeah, Kega needs to go in the hole.
Mm-hmm. That was a game that was defined around dealing with Kega for like 7 turns before you finally got rid of him for good.
Well, it's why I'm on 10 minutes left on my damn clock.
Yeah.
This game went, and they're on 13. Like, it's not like I'm much.
Yeah, they had to think pretty hard too. That was a complicated game, and they made a serious misplay on you.
Yeah, they made a couple.
I think it's actually not an exaggeration. So they made a game-ending misplay for them as well, specifically. Here it is again. They definitely boarded in enchantment removal, though, right?
Certainly.
Like, there's no way they didn't.
They're also the Shrine deck, remember?
Ostensibly. You can't play that until 4 anyway, so getting rid of... If you wanted to wear this away now, that would make sense.
I'd rather get this out of here now. I already need to tutor black.
Yeah, and blue. Well, not necessarily the blue. It's mostly just the black. You don't have any double blue costs, and the backwater functions for blue.
Yeah. I want to get this obviously going before they hit our color sources as well. Okay, want to make sure I did that right.
Right now, this mill could be theoretically problematic. Yeah.
Yeah. Not anymore. We're basically immune to the mill mattering. Like, because I have enough recursion.
Hitting only one card at a time is not a big deal.
All right, let's get...
All right, friends. It's back. Your best friend.
Let's get ready to Honden.
All right, they're still missing white.
I thought they'd be milling themselves to, like, try to get a Kuda Born of Ash or something like that. You know, they have reasons to want to mill themselves.
You've had actually nothing but, like, beneficial mills.
Yeah, it's just been a couple lands. All right, let's get the last of these lands out of the deck. I think it's literally the last of these lands, right? It's like 4 left, 5 left.
So you have only 3 lands left. That's pretty wild.
All right. Then from here, like we either draw Death Denied or Turtle or Goshintai, or Goshintai.
Yeah, you got plenty of valuable draws.
Yeah, and even if they mill one or two of them, the others become more valuable because like Death Denied.
Part of what I meant was the fact that Goshintai is only hitting 1 mill right now means that even if you get like the mill's one of the ones that could help, it's not milling multiple at the same time. So
Right.
like you're not losing extra chances at drawing them.
Yeah.
You'd have to get exceptionally unlucky to get hit with like every single one of these mills mattering, which so far literally none have. So
yeah, we still have our Honda and pushing them. They probably Kaiga here. Expected turn is Kaiga. Okay, expected turn is take 5. Sure. Might be better than Kaiga for them. Like, we're down to 1 card in hand. All right, we're down to 2 lands left in deck.
2 entire lands. If you drew a Kadama's Reach, it is becoming dangerously close to whiffing.
I know.
The land count is unreasonable
I know.
right now.
I know. We've resolved 2 Kodama's Reaches, so obviously...
It's not that weird to be... Oh!
Fuck, okay.
They caught you.
Alright, so we get the last card out of their hand. We just need Kill Spell. That's a perfect card to have in hand.
But it's not one that answers questions right now.
Correct. Hopefully, but they might advance the board state more. Their own Goshintai.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 turns to take hits from it. That's okay.
Oh, technically 4. If you're not counting this one, because they're going right now.
Application Specialist, sure. Please mail me one. That's not enough to matter. That is. But it's way slow. Just need another good mill. Okay. Ooh, that's the Burn Shrine. I think we've lost here. We just drew way too many lands for a game like this.
For a game that you Kadama's reached up so many of them and also had a few of them get milled out, the fact that you kept on drawing them anyway is unreasonable.
Because I'm going to die to this on my next turn.
Yeah, you've got no rats that matter. Or rather, you don't have any rats at all in the board. In the deck.
Yeah.
Hideous Laughter's not on, and even then, you need 2 of them. And even then, that still wouldn't kill Kega.
Right. And land.
Not quite. Like, it would have been nice earlier, but oh well, actually,
It's
hold
not
on.
game yet.
If you drew these running, because you do have 2 of them, right?
That won't be enough. I'm doing quick math on it. I've got 8 mana Cage of Hands, plus Death Denied for 1 plus Go Shinta is a blocker this tramples. So go to 3.
All right, now you've got 5 minutes, which is enough to play this deck.
Yeah,
It's just going to be kind of fast.
Yeah, that one was just so close to being real. We're gonna we're just gonna keep it and get it rolling this time. All right. This should be good. Like Budoka Gardener.
Gardner and Reach together are very, very good friends. Plus, also, 2 relevant Hondens, pretty good.
Yeah, getting Knight's Reach down as early as possible. Blue would be the draw I want here. Up.
Nutcracker is an interesting ninja.
Very powerful.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite Honden on the field once more. If you can get both Hondens down, you will probably be able to get... well, that makes sense.
Sure.
Okay. Specifically in exile, too, to prevent you from getting it back.
Yeah, which is something I was looking at with this hand. You know what? Drawing blue to just play Sky Turtle would be nice.
Or would. You would have just outramped them and been able to take them that way. If that's what happens. But it is unlikely to just draw blue, unfortunately.
That doesn't work the way you want it to, bud. Those guys got text. Okay, there you go, grab a shrine. Another lost wisdom.
Oh, they've got multiples of those. Okay. This is the first time Elder Pine of Jukai has shown up.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of these games.
All right, Budoka Gardener was a 2-1. So they can play their lost wisdom, but like I can still attack through this.
Yeah, you have 3 attackers still. 2 attackers still.
Sure.
This is the fact that there's doing this is actually a good thing, given that you have the turtle in hand.
No blocks.
Want to keep it. That's interesting.
Hey, Kavanaugh, we drew 15 lands last game. Not drew, I suppose, but you know.
A lot of lands happened.
We had 2 lands left in deck.
There were 3 lands left in deck, and then we drew 1 anyway.
This to be
Get down to only 2 left in deck.
I can't cast that, so I don't care. Let's blast you.
Speaking of many lands in deck.
I figured out that one's blockable.
It was pretty wild how in the first game, making 10/10s is probably your worst use of mana.
Come on in. That's the reason I got the Gardener. I knew that my draws were this. We win. So sorry. It's a 3-3 on the other side. We just get to make 10/10s for the rest of the game.
And on top of that, they're dead in 5 turns anyway.
Right, they have a clock
that
we're counting down that every shrine makes a lot better. I have a Death Toucher, so I don't care about Ghost Shinto, Boars, but whatever. Two lands in the yard.
Forcing them to think a lot.
I had to force a Trump block there.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just like, man,
Man.
this is absolutely a matchup of thinking. Is
Yeah.
what you had here. Yep, makes sense. They've been playing, I think they've literally been playing that card, by the way, as a 5-mana 3/4 flyer.
They have this artifact.
That's fair. That's a good one to copy, too. So. But still, they don't have many artifacts. It is mostly just as that, at least in practice.
Anyway.
They lose.
Yeah, they have 2
They
blockers.
would have to be able to block. Yeah, they'd have to be able to block every creature here, or rather 3 of them at least. Woo! Spicy. Good last game. How many of... Okay, so there are 3 lands in your grave, and you have 11 lands on board?
There are 10 lands in play. There are 1, 2, 3 lands in grave.
Okay.
And so this Kazama's Reach would have put us in the same situation as the previous game, except for, like, we actually have spells.
Yes.
Also, like,
Ooh.
this card, like, this is actually Sosuke's game for being, like...
Yeah, Sasuke did great work.
Well, like, hi, I'm an 0-4 blocker. I will crush your 3-power attacker. Oh, sorry. Fakest Death Touch in the world. Like, nothing to be done
Really
about it.
weird slow touch.
I know, it's not even like triggers on block.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just what slow touch was like back in the day. There were a lot of different variations on it. Sometimes it would be when the creature attacked or blocked. Or sorry, when it was attacked or like blocked or blocking.
There's at least one card as well that I think kills on end step after it takes damage too, if I remember right.
So I'm happy that we did see another shrine player, even though I don't think they're like our level shrines. They're just like playing a couple for, having a few shrines in the deck. I love this deck.
This deck is really fun. Yeah.
Like, damn.
50.4% of all cards with that touch are mono black cards. 18.7% of them are mono green cards.
Yep.
Weirdly enough, there's at least a couple of cards that are mono white with that touch. I don't know what those are off the top of my head.
Mono white with that touch?
1.1% apparently.
They have black activations or something like that.
Yeah, must be the case.
Funny thing about this hand is that it again has the combo of Kabuto Moth and Tales of Master Seshiro, aka the 2 cards that are just sort of here in the deck that don't really combo with anything, they just sort of exist. Odric effects probably make up some of that too, yeah. Just saying the word Death Touch on them.
Yeah, that must be it.
Do you have it?
Okay, so Mardu Blade that has a black activation.
Yep.
Akroma and Odric both have Odric text on them.
Yep.
Thunderous Orator is another Odric text. Okay, yeah. All 3 of the cards that have it, that are white cards with that touch, they are cards with black activations or Odric text. And there are 6 total. The funny thing is how rare it is in red.
Suppose
It's
so,
only
huh?
1 card.
Ah, I
There
knew
is
it.
only
I knew it. Sorry, I grabbed the blue instead of the double black because I'm like, oh, Sky Turtle's gonna show up. I'm gonna feel really stupid. But I always reach because I always reach land to land, the bottom of deck. What's the
Toxic Iguanar is a red 1/1 that has Death Touch as long as you control a green
greener?
permanent.
Oh yeah. What a
That's a bizarre card from Conflux.
yep. Conflux did some strange handoffs that were off color because
Yeah, it's obviously that's because you would have to green thing in play for it to get it, so it makes sense. There's also Riveteer's Initiate, which has a 1 and black or green activation for Death Touch. Which is a red bear otherwise. That's actually literally from Streets of New Capenna. So
yeah.
a second red death touching creature ever.
So our opponent played Okiba Gang Shinobi as a creature. I believe their hand is trash.
They either trash or all like very expensive gas.
Yeah. Either way, we've got. I need the second black for Death Denied to get like full on, but like Tales of Master Session your next turn on either Prancer or Gardener. Um, I left up Unsummon here because I actually would unsummon Prancer if it got hit by a kill spell. Well,
Oh, weird.
no thanks.
Strange how it's just gonna let you pick the turtle back up again. Oh wait, no. From among those in the okay, never mind. Not from your grave.
Uh huh. Anyway. All right then. Let's get the beatdown rolling some more. 5 cards still in hand.
I'm suddenly leaning a little bit more on reasonably expensive gas because of the befoul play.
Yeah, I think they're just holding. I think they're on like a bunch of 4+ drops. Like they can only play one.
Yeah.
They didn't play the foul on 4 because like we didn't have anything in
And
play.
have a notable target.
Here we go. Here's one of their plays.
Okay. I've never seen this one. I know that it's the new green, but
Sure. Search for 3 lands or make an XX, which is a 6/6. Fine by me.
you could Honden and take back the Cage of Hands and then just put the Cage of Hands on the dragon, right?
Yeah. And then attack for. And then the Okiba Gang Shinobi dies next. Yeah, that's probably better. Because like we can kill the Okiba Gang. We can't pump this, but that's okay.
That's fine because you're playing a, an investment to do so even better next turn.
Yep.
The end result will be, only slightly worse. And you get access to killing a guy.
Chip here, because I don't want to take the Okiba Gang Shinobi to the face. If I attack with the Prancer, I've got a bad feeling about that. Here we go. Kakusho. Flat Kakusho.
Like Kakusho would be impressive.
Kagamaru's 5. 6. Jugen.
Spinning wheel kick.
I was right to be afraid. Interesting. Yeah, because it has that to, well.
There's some good news. All right.
I can only get Death Denied for 1 here, so it's not worth trying to do weird Death Denied shenanigans here.
Oh, to like tap the swamp and then pick it back
replay
up
it,
and then tap it again.
Yeah, I could do
Not
that, but
worth
it's just not worth it. Yeah, let's.
I mean, you could do that to grab the turtle, and then you could just Death Deny it again. I don't know. It's probably still not worth it. That's spending mana for no benefit,
Yeah. Anyway, shrines are back. How's the deck? This deck freaking rules.
This deck whips. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that targets, right. I could put the 1/1 counters on Haunted of Infinite Rage if I really felt like it.
Hell yeah. I love 1/1 counters being where they shouldn't be. It's always funny.
Okay, it was definitely a real choice picking.
Tameshi was
Tameshi.
extremely a good pickup.
Yeah.
It was a really good idea. I mean, it was between Tameshi and like what? It was like the Haunted of Seeing Winds or whatever. I think that and like one other good card.
There were. I'm trying to remember what it was exactly. I remember it was like, this is a real choice, and you are like, you are passing something for doing it, but I don't remember what the card was.
One of them was a Kadama's Reach, which you ended up having plenty of, so that was not a big deal. There was like 3 choices that all seemed like they were good choices.
Here's their 1 play for the turn. It's going to be Gloom Shrieker to pick up whatever. Oh my god. Oh, that's a shrine. Okay, they can do that. I'm so sorry.
They're trying their best.
I know they're trying their best, but I'm just so sorry.
They're removing everything you have, except this is secretly actually a black-green recursion deck. Sorry, I'm here, and so it became that way anyway.
Yeah, I can't do it immediately because I don't have the mana to immediately do it, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, you're just gonna go ahead and grab Tameshi back anyway, and whoops. Sorry, buddy.
Yep, Slionine win.
Your graveyard is just more of a hand. It happens. It's a good thing.
Yep. So yeah, there's a bunch of. It's been weird. Devoted Druid's gotten like a bunch of infinite cards over the last like couple sets.
With reconfiguration.
So Swift configuration makes like whatever enchanted creature into a vehicle.
Yeah.
So like you turn your Devoted Druid into a shitty car, and then the -1/-1 counters don't mean anything.
Oh shit! Yeah, that makes sense.
Which
Yeah, because while it's not a creature, the -1/-1 counters don't kill it.
and so you just have your shitty card. It's the funniest thing ever.
Your shitty jalopy that generates infinite mana.
Like, don't touch it; it'll explode. But as long as
Devoted
it's going,
Druid is a dope card, and I'm glad that Magic is stupid.
mm-hmm. Yeah, just don't start the car.
Don't start the car. Don't do it.
Urza 100, born in the you know.
This is the first bad mana hand, but at the same time, it can play Kodama's Reaches no problem if you draw them. So,
Yeah.
plus you're up a game, so you can be a little bit spicy.
Ooh.
Bending Vines is also a good pickup.
Sure. Grew two. They can probably crew that this turn.
Splice is just so expensive to do.
Yeah. So I can play the Moth, but I actually want to cycle.
Yep. I like how Kobita Moth actually, I like that Kobita Moth, by the way, is technically, it acts like an assembly worker, you know, or you can block and then pop
Yep.
itself.
Yep. Very good at doing that. Ooh.
Way to get your land situation on board.
Yeah. Right now, I think right now it's Sosuke.
Sosuke is a good idea now, yeah. Especially when you have an excellent block on field.
They're off color. They probably have like a Befoul for Sosuke and then they're done. Please attack.
Yeah. They probably have an actual, like, response. I have a feeling that they're not going to be doing this for no reason. Right? Like,
I'll still do it. Also, nobody's read Sosuke, Son of Seshiro.
there's no way. They have to know.
Nobody's read this card. The first line
Come
says
on.
other snakes. Why would this one say other warriors? That's the assumption, right? Like, you read the first line, it says other snakes, and then you see fake
They
death touching.
templated that first effect as other always in, like, they've done so for like a million
Here
years.
it comes.
The latter thing making so it applies to itself makes a lot of sense.
Here it comes.
I think Sosuke is completely understandable in like, they did have a reason for it. They did.
I'll talk 2 for 1.
Yeah, I know. It was a bad 2-for-1, but they did have a reason for it. Also, your game is online.
Yeah, let's go get blue and black.
I knew it. I knew that they knew what they were doing, even if it was bad.
No thanks. Kiku Shadow rules, by the way. Good card.
Yeah.
I think this is a this effect's been in a couple different colors. White and red also have had this effect.
It does feel mostly black. Like, I feel like that would be a black effect, but black already has all of its various forms of
Mm-hmm.
removal. So
Anyway, this is Elder Pine and Jukai. Plus, whenever you get. So I picked this card super highly, and I don't even think I talked about it. Whenever you cast a Spirit Arcane spell, reveal the top 3 cards in your library, put all land reveal this way in your hand, and the rest on the bottom. Soul Shift 2, also, by the way. But for real, what if I just get to do this and go yoink, yoink, and then we put a Honda on bottom?
it's fine. Kadama's reaches shuffled. So. And there you go.
Concession. We draw 2 off of Elder Pine and Jukai, and that is enough. We are done.
This is a fun format.
Yeah,
you weren't wrong that this was going to be fun.
I'm excited.
Also, I think your familiarity with Kamigawa helps going 3-0 like easy too.
Yeah. Spirit Prancer would go top 3, then top 5. And yeah, we took 1 loss. Which just tragic. We were about a turn from like rolling in that one, but every other game was just ours. All right, I'm gonna quick clip the video and then go grab a drink. I'll be right back. Then we'll go start draft 2.
I need to go make meatballs. If I finish that up before that I might pop back in. But
thanks for joining.
meatballs need to occur.
All right.